Atapu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Haru Nefer. This is Kasak Ma Kiparu with another exciting video for you. And in this video, we're going to talk about what does seeing 1111 mean. However, before I do that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe bell to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. Also, if you're interested in learning more about my teachings, you can download the ebooks that are free. They go deeper into my spiritual philosophy, and you can just start downloading and reading them today. Otherwise, if you really want to follow that rabbit hole, the rabbit down the hole, deep down the hole, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $1, $5, or $20 per month. You get exclusive access to instructional videos on how to meditate, how to summon spirits, spirit evocation, how to create an energy ball, how to work with the oracles, how to do self-hypnosis, a lot of great stuff. And there's also a community on Patreon. So become a Patreon supporter today. You can cancel it any time. Last but not least, please share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. So Haru Nefer, let me just say that this is a very, very, I would say, challenging topic to discuss why some people see 1111. And I remember, if you are part of our community, you know that we don't use the word challenging. We use the word, it's an opportunity, you know? I remember when we were just past February, we were shooting a film, and I would play around with that word a lot with my producer, and he would just giggle and laugh whenever we encounter a problem. I would say, no, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity. We always just have a good laugh. So look at this, because it's such a big subject to cover. And I don't even know where to start with this, to be honest with you, but let me just say this. One of the reasons why modern day Western science has a problem with spirituality and the New Age movement is because they can't duplicate the results. You understand what I mean? When science is based on sensory input, based on concrete left brain thinking, it has to be duplicated. It has to be able to be confined in a laboratory to where they can produce consistent results for it to be proven to be factual, that this is a scientific law. But when you're dealing with the occult and alchemy, you're dealing with intelligences, deities, spirits, angels, elementals. And these energies and intelligences don't like to be played with. So if you go to the tarot or oracle and you try to test it, you're not going to get the results you're looking for to prove. Just like science had the double slit experiment where they proved that you could have a particle and a wave. It could be a particle or a wave, depending on when you observe it. That reality conforms to the expectations of the observer. Just like in the placebo experiment, or the double-blind experiment, whatever you want to call it. If I'm giving you a drug and I'm trying to test it out, if I tell you that this drug is supposed to increase hair follicles and grow hair, your spirit will basically affect physiologically your chemistry so that you will grow more hair, even though I may have given you a sugar pill. So it becomes very difficult. I know it sounds a bit convoluted, but I'm saying it becomes very difficult when you're getting into the arena of the occult, the spirit, to document and to consistently prove these things. Because again, you're dealing with intelligences, and things aren't always duplicatable. Give an example, I could do a spell today, and I think that the spell works great for me in my ritual, but I give it to somebody else. Their belief systems are totally different than my belief system. So when they recite the spell, it doesn't work for them in their ritual. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into this whole idea. What does seeing 1111 mean? And I set all of that up to introduce this because I want you to understand that 1111 can mean different things to different individuals. And there's a greater point I want to get to, the bigger secret here, and it is a big secret. I want you to understand that. And I'm going to reveal that big secret in just a little bit. And it's of such paramount importance that if you don't take away, you can forget what 1111 means. I'm going to give you the meaning of that. But don't bypass this big revelation I'm about to give you, because it could literally change your life. And it changed my life, because that 1111 is really a gateway into a bigger world. You understand? Now, from a scientific perspective, and when I got into NLP, hypnotherapy, hypnosis, we would study RAS, the Reticular Activation System. And the Reticular Activation System is your way of noticing certain things that are important to you, that conform to your belief system. I had, when I was doing the dating coaching, I had a student who would always approach and talk to women, and their boyfriend was standing near them. And I say, your RAS is so off. You're not noticing that the boyfriend is standing right there. Where your reticular activation system is picking up on things that are important to you. And it's discarding the information that is not important to you. So in other words, every day you're bombarded with data, information. And your brain, for efficiency's sakes, filters out most of the information and really brings in what is important to you and meaning for you that you need to be focused on. This is why when certain people do rituals, I really prescribe that they go to a new location, a new place, because when you are bombarded with the information and the data, and you're in the comfort of your own home, well, you're going to filter out a lot of things. But when you go to a new environment, all that data is going to overwhelm your senses, and you're going to try to process that information. And when you overwhelm your senses, that's a great way for you impregnating the spirit to manifest the reality. But let's go back to the RAS, the Reticular Activation System. So you must understand that there is an oversoul that we all have. And that oversoul is, we're uploading information to the oversoul, and the oversoul is downloading information to us. And that oversoul, or as the Dim Zealand in his book, Reality Transurfing, calls it a pendulum. And that pendulum really is responsible for things like a culture, a dominant way of thinking, an ideology that spreads like a virus. Racism is a pendulum. And when we acquire information, we upload that to the oversoul, or we can say a pendulum, and it gets downloaded to other people. This is why we say in my community, state is transferable. Whatever emotional state that you're in gets uploaded and transferred to people near and far. You're affecting people by your vibrational frequency, by your thought process. This is why we all cannot just do anything we want, because it will affect people. All right? So when you are looking at something and it holds a particular meaning to you, if enough people, and it reaches that tipping point, share in that same definition, it gets uploaded to the oversoul, and the oversoul sends that information to other people, and it gets downloaded. And your RAS, your reticular activation system, now hones in on it. This is also called the 100 monkey syndrome, or the 100 monkey principle. So information is being transferred through the ether. Now, but what does the 1111 mean, though? We have to go to the Hermetic Laws of Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great. As above, so below. You see, 1111 is a mirror. It is talking about what is above is in sync with what is below. And that is a good omen. So when you're seeing 1111, it is this presence of the spirit of intelligence telling you that you're in the gamma state, 40 to 80 hertz, that you are in sync, you're in the flow state, that things are going good for you. It means that you're on the right path. It doesn't necessarily guarantee success, but it means, hey, you're going in the right direction. Things are in the flow, they're in sync, as above, so below, 11 above, 11 below. This is an intelligence communicating with you. Now I'm going to get to the real secret that's going to blow your mind in just a bit. Because as I said, it's not important what 1111 means. Now let me take a step back here. Numbers, Arab numbers that we have, that, we've inherited from them, or the numbers fall under the guise of the deity Sebek. Sebek is left brain thinking. He's verbal communication. He deals with numbers. He deals with facts. This is why in the Great Hall of Ma'ati, he checks the scales because Sebek is good with details. You know what I mean? To make sure the scales weigh properly for the weighing of the heart. I want to take a quick look at just some of these definition of these numbers and see if you can follow me. Here we just have a quick little chart here which shows different numbers, and what they represent. And the one key thing I want to emphasize with you is that nothing is written in stone. But let's go over this. 111, the intuition. Encourage you to keep following your spirit. You're on the right path if you see this. Listen to your gut and your heart. 222, that's my favorite number. That's Ma'at's number. Right place, right time. Trust in what you want. Don't think of things you don't want when you see this number 333. That's Sebek's number. Mind, body, and spirit. Focus on all three aspects. Don't neglect one for the other. When you see this number 444, another Ma'at number, the universe and your spiritual guides are protecting you. Pay attention to your thoughts and your environment. When you see this number 555, the change. A change is occurring. The universe is moving things around. When you see this number 666, oh, some people say this is the mark of the beast. Take a step back, rethink it, and ask yourself, is what you're doing right or wrong? Now, we know that 666 also is the emotional nature. That's the emotional breathing patterns. We have to be very careful about that because that's the gateway to Sahu nature. 777, release all fear, inner strength. Be strong at heart. Look forward to the future with excitement when you see this number. 888, the balance. You're in harmony with the universe. Your thoughts and actions are also in harmony. When you see this number, finally, 999, the wrap up. Time to start a new journey. Wrap up loose ends. Let go of what does not serve you. Prepare for the next level when you see this number. Awesome, awesome. Now, you may encounter these numbers now that I've programmed them into your spirit. You see, I have now uploaded this to the Oversoul, and now it's going to get downloaded to you. So whenever you have a situation that arises, your RS, Reticular Activation System, is going to quickly pick up on these numbers and see them in your environment. And that is the universe's way of communicating to you. It's trying to tell you something. Okay? It's trying to let you know something. But all of this in Western thinking was pioneered by the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung. Because when Carl Jung noticed this alignment of thoughts in the physical world, he called it synchronicity. He discovered this many years ago, but our ancestors knew about this all along, but we called it omens. Let's see what Carl Jung had to say about this, okay, and how he happened to look up on all of this. Okay, Carl Jung, synchronicity. Let's see what we got here. What is synchronicity? The term synchronicity is coined by Jung to express a concept that belongs to him, a casual connection of two or more psychic and physical phenomena. The concept was inspired to him by a patient's case that was in a situation of impasse in her treatment. One night, the patient dreamt of a golden scarab, that is Keperu, Keperu, K-H-E-P-E-R-U, Keperu, the scarab beetle. The next day, during the psychotherapy session, a real insect hit against Jung's cabinet window. Jung caught it and discovered surprisingly that it was a golden scarab, a very rare presence for the climate. One generally speaks about coincidence in cases like this, but the coincidence is not senseless, a simple one. But using the amplification method, Jung searches for materials in connection with the scarab and comes to the concept of death and rebirth from the esoteric philosophy of antiquity. Thus, the scarab is seen as a symbol of deaths and rebirth process that in a symbolic way the patient should experience for the realization of the completeness of her unilateral personality, the cause of the neurosis she was suffering from. Finally, Jung talks about the significant coincidence of physical and psychological phenomena that are causally connected. Behind all of these phenomena, he places the constellation of an archetype, which in his view engages equally objective manifestations in the physical world and subjective ones in the individual psyche. Jung wrote a book on synchronicity together with his theoretical physicist and Nobel, well, we can go on with that. But Carl Jung was a pioneer because he was the first one to look into archetypes, the collective consciousness or collective unconsciousness. You can't really be unconscious, so it's a collective consciousness, meaning we all share an oversoul. The collective consciousness of the planet. Do you understand? This is why the ruling elite is so afraid of us becoming awake to 5D. You see, you don't read about God. You don't pray to God. You experience God. And how do you experience God? With Haru, our God taught us, Horus, you kill the ego. When the ego is nullified, you take away that separation and you become one with God. You experience yourself as pure consciousness. No time, no space. And you experience nirvana, or Japanese say Zen, peace. You cannot read about God. You cannot come to an intellectual understanding of God. You can prove God's existence, but science is not ready for that because you have to extrapolate from nature and see around you that there's interconnectedness and interdependence between all things. And that interconnectedness, that ecology, was put there by a divine intelligence. God doesn't manifest in the explicit, but implicitly or implied in things, you will see God's presence and God's work. And I'm leading up to that big revelation. So when you're looking around and you're starting to notice on your clock, 11:11, TV, 11:11, yes, you can call it synchronicity. And it is communicating to you, yes, you have achieved that gamma state. You have achieved that flow state where everything is going according to plan. Stay the course. Stay the course. But we, who are descendants of ancient Kemet, Egypt, descendants of ancient Atlantis, descendants of the great Ethiopian Empire, we know, or the Mayan culture, or the Chinese great dynasties, we know from the sages that taught us that the buck doesn't stop there, that there's something more important that we must learn and take away from this. Do you understand, my beloved? Do not forget also that YouTube has demonetized my channel. So if you get an opportunity, please donate to the channel. Your donations will be appreciated and will help me to write more ebooks. You see, if you just look at it as the study of numbers and what these numbers mean, you're missing so much information and so much magical power from this. Because we live in this Western concrete left brain world, all they think about is the concrete, the surface, the superficial. So they say, you see, let me put it to you this way. I would have people email me. They would contact me and they would say, Kasank, can you tell me what it means to see, 11:11 or see 33 repeatedly? And I would say, yes, I could tell you what it means, but you're missing on something more important if you just look at it as an interpretation of what that is, you're missing something more important. So let's get into that. Let's dissect that. Okay? Let's go there. You see, the reality is it's all that exists is you, Neo, the one. You're in the matrix. There is nobody else. All the other people, the plants, the trees, the doggies, the cats, the butterflies, the bees, are all avatars. You have created them to have this holographic experience to interact with. Michael Talbot talks about that in his book, The Holographic Universe. You are interacting with a holographic experience. You're in the Star Trek hologram or holodeck. The only thing is real is the experience. The only thing that exists within that is just you, the one. And I remember when I came to that frightening realization, it terrified me. I read and I decoded the numbers that I was seeing. I said, why do I love astronomy? And when you look at the spelling of astronomy, my name is in that. When you look at the first man to land on the moon, I'm named after him. When I look at who I was in the past lifetime, I was an astronomer. What is going on? When you start to put the synchronicities together and everything, you start to realize this is all a constructed reality that is not real. It is Maya. And as quantum mechanics tells us, reality doesn't exist apart from the observer. So whatever beliefs I harbor within me manifest in this fourth dimensional plane. They manifest. And I get to interact with that because I'm God. Because I share in God's consciousness. I am one with God. God placed his consciousness within the physical being, the Geb. Geb and Nut, sky and earth. Geb, physical representation. God is metaphysical, cannot exist in this fourth dimensional plane. God is immaterial. You can't see God, feel God, hear God, smell God. You can't. So God has to put its consciousness within a physical being in order to experience this three-dimensional plane. And you have agreed with God and allowed God to place his consciousness within you so that you can have a particular experience. Because God has no experience and it needs you to have the experience. To experience. That's what God wants. That's your purpose. People say, what is the purpose of life? To experience. Ma says, no truth, you must live life. There's a relational interdependence there. This is why Ma'at is nothing without Tahuti. Ma'at is the law, Tahuti is the measure. How do you apply the law? Go to Tahuti. What is the law? Go to Ma'at. Who enforces the law? Go to Hurukuhuti. Let's get back to Sebek and his numbers. Sebek loves numbers game. His favorite number is 3. So we have to stop asking these questions. What does 55 mean? What does 66 mean? Well, I've given you some numbers. Now you can interpret it, but you're going to miss the bigger message here. So let's get down to the big secret. I've already told you the only thing that exists is you. Everything else is an avatar that you've created to have an experience. But what you don't realize, as our ancestors said, the omens, read the omens, that everything in existence has a meaning. 22nd hexagram of the I-ching talks about form and function. If you look at things without looking deeper and seeing the significance of it, then you miss it. All you have to do is ask God a question. Sit quietly and meditate and ask a question and ask God to send you the answer. And if you are observant, if your RAS system is in place, you will see signs, not just numbers, but situations. People may come up to you and say strange things that align with what you were thinking, or a person may say something that gives you an answer to a problem that has been vexing you for a long time. Because you are living in an energetic universe, meaning it's intelligent. It is responding to your wishes. It is paying off you. Will my business be successful? If you meditate on that for 5 minutes and embed it with emotion, and if you truly want that answer, meditate 5 minutes. Close your eyes, meditate 5 minutes. Will my business be successful? Will I get a mate? Will I get that new business opportunity? And then let it go. Forget about it. Cast it to the back of your mind. And then go about your day. And I will guarantee you, someone will come up and say something out of the blue that will blow your mind. Hey, how's that business opportunity going? What? I never told you about that business opportunity. Really? I thought you did. Thought you said it was a sure thing. There's your synchronicity. There's the universe telling you. There's the universe communicating to you. You may have an old woman come up to you and say, hey, you're going to get that job that you interviewed yesterday. And you'd be like, what? Because it's energetic. The universe is waiting to communicate with you. The universe is God. It's waiting to tell you things. Don't just rely on 11-11-33. You can gather so much more information. It just doesn't stop at those numbers. That's the secret. Take it to its next level. Tell the universe what you want and look and learn to see the omens. Get your RAS in check. Program your spirit. Sit down and say, I want to know if next month I will be prosperous in the stock market. Boom, forget about it. Cast it out. Wait for the signs to hit you. It may be the numbers. It may be a person coming to you saying something. It may be a TV program about a guy who looks like you who hit it big in the stock market. Watch the TV. The TV is perfect for synchronicities. The other day, I'm driving my car and I park next to a guy who just moved into the building and he has a DeLorean motor car. And I'm like, oh, I love those DeLorean cars, man. I was like, yeah, Back to the Future. I go upstairs and they're playing a Back to the Future marathon. I go to Facebook, they're selling the DeLorean motor car, Back to the Future car model kit. What is this telling me? Decode it. What did you ask the universe? What did you ask the universe? Take control. Don't just rely on these numbers to haphazardly appear. If you do, yeah, you'll get some, you'll get some, you'll get some meaning from it, but not as much as you could. You guys let me know if the stream is I'm sorry, the stream is cutting in and out. I apologize, I didn't know it was cutting in and out. You let me know if this stream is making, is it better now? Okay, I apologize for that. It's the internet connection. But yeah, the surface level is just decoding the numbers. All right, you want to do that, great. But again, the caveat is just because you see 11-11 doesn't mean that you're going to get or be successful. It means you're going on the right path. It means things are in alignment. You're in that flow state. Continue doing the good work. But our ancestors left you this information that could change your life if you know how to communicate with the universe. Ask the universe questions. And if your belief system is strong enough to where you buy into it, that the universe will communicate to you through signs, symbols, and omens, the universe will. If your belief system says, I don't buy it, it'll never happen, then you tell the universe, don't communicate to you that way. This is why science has a hard time proving the New Age and the occult. Because whatever your belief system is, it will be mirrored back by this three-dimensional or fourth-dimensional reality. If you tell this reality, I want to be a limited being, I don't want to have any powers, I don't want to believe in magic, this universe will eliminate magic from your life. It will make you powerless. But if you tell the universe, I'm a magi, I'm consciousness, I'm God, and the universe will communicate to me through signs and symbols. The king who taught me said this once. He was trying to put together a master ritual, but he did not know the remaining formula of how to do it. He said he walked into a library once and a book fell off the shelf right in front of him, and that book contained the final missing piece to his formula. Because the universe responded to his command. The universe says, I will grant you your request. All you need to do is sit and meditate for 5 minutes. Believe, though. You have to believe. Okay? You can't just, I'll try this and see if it worked. I don't know what that song is talking about. This magical stuff. We'll see, we'll see. Then it won't work. Because the universe is going to honor your strongest belief system. And if your strongest belief system says magic doesn't work, then you're not going to have magic. If my strongest belief system is that I'm very pretty, and I know I am, then the girls will be calling me. I kid you not. I'm talking. That's one of the first things I did in my dating program. I said, you must accept the fact that you are handsome and that you can attract women. And I said that to women as well. Whatever is your strongest dominant belief system, the universe grants that. And most of us have fear-based programming. We're so afraid, and the universe then lines up things to make us more afraid and to trap us in 3D thinking, Western thinking. The Western mind is very young and very immature. It doesn't know how to deal with magic, the occult. So because it doesn't know, it puts out its propaganda machine to try and discredit it. So I want you to take away the more deeper meaning behind all of this. Don't just look at Sebek's numbers. There's Sobek in back of me, right? There he is. Sobek. Okay. Don't just look at the numbers. Read the omens, the signs. Listen for people and what they will say. I was experiencing here 114-degree temperatures. Hot as all hell. I'm thinking, when is this going to end? It finally broke. Today was 85 degrees. I got in the elevator and I was thinking to myself, wow, thank God it's 85 degrees. And this short Asian man, nice guy, who I'd never seen before, got in the elevator and he was reading his phone and looked at me and says, I'm so happy it's 85 degrees. I just had to laugh. I said, that synchronicity works. That works, man. Because you see, I've learned to empower my thoughts emotionally. I emote a lot. So when I meditate, I'm impregnating my thoughts with emotions because the universe understands emotions, not words. Those emotions become states. States are frequencies. And that's the language of the universe. Nikola Tesla told us that. He says, you want to understand the secrets of the universe. If you want to understand the secrets of the universe, understand frequency. Study frequency. You get it? That's the trick. This society is trying to kill your power. It doesn't want you to believe in things like this. It doesn't. It wants you to take away all of your power so that those ruling elite behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz, can imprison the planet in a certain mindset. They want to trap us in a certain mindset of limitation and confinement and of damnation. And they're winning. For the time being, the tides will turn now as more people come upon this information. So please share this video with friends and families so we can get the information out there. Practice what I teach so that you can upload it to the Oversoul. And it can spread like a virus. And so people can start to liberate themselves. So they can start communicating with the universe. The universe is energetic. It will respond to you. So have a conversation and look for the answers. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. This is Kasank Ma Keperu, son of Ma'at and Tahuti. Ma'at is the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next video, Amun Ra.